Hi, everybody. This is a follow-up to the Doctor Who video that I posted a few days ago. That has gotten a lot of comment. Well, not for any channel of substantial size, but mine is a tiny little, blip in the YouTube ocean. So for my channel, it has gotten a lot of comment, way more than any of the other videos I posted about political involvement or spiritual awareness or any of that. And I guess I really shouldn't have been surprised because people are hungry to talk about anything except politics right now. Have you noticed that if you post the cat pictures on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, or you post, yesterday I posted some beautiful flowers white roses that I saw as I was walking. And oh, that got so many likes and oohs and wows because people are so tired, so exhausted by politics and all of the stress that is existent in the world now and that we're all more aware of than we ever were before. It's not like the world has ever not been a stressful place. If you're honest about that, or if you look back at history, which I know with DEI, we're not supposed to look back at anything. We're not supposed to examine what went before because that's not appropriate. But if you look back at history, we have never not had a very stressful world. It's just that we weren't always aware of everything because we didn't have what we have now, social media everywhere. So instantly everybody's aware of what's going on in various parts of the world, and it is stressing everybody out. If they're at all empathetic, sympathetic, or not empathetic, just very judgmental and angry at everyone, they're all horrible and we want to get rid of them all, whatever their feelings are. Feelings are very high around the world, and certainly in this country, in America. If you're popping in from somewhere else, it's probably the same in your country too. So I was not, or I should not have been surprised, I kind of was, that the Doctor Who crying video got so, and whether it was woke or not, got so much attention and commentary for my little channel. So what I wanted to do to start was to thank everybody who commented, because you all, well, at least from what I read, I don't know that I read every single comment, but you all seem to be very civil in your comments. There was not a lot of, yelling at me in all caps or questioning my parentage, in terrible terms or anything like that. A lot of the critique of what I said was very well expressed, and I even agreed with some of it, at least to some extent. So thank you for that, because I don't want to have to turn off comments. I don't know if there's another option on YouTube if you either have the comments on or the comments off. I don't really know that there's but the two options. So thank you for that. And also thank you for those who found you agreed with me in various ways and wanted to weigh in on that. Thank you for that as well. I do not always have to be agreed with. I don't expect people to agree with me all the time. I mean, that's not a reasonable expectation. I just don't want to try and engage in discourse where people are yelling at each other, calling each other names, and being really nasty to each other, because I don't think that gets us anywhere, frankly. It might make you feel, I have done it. Now, to be honest, I have done it myself. Occasionally, I've gone online with somebody and gone, meh, 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 and they've gone meh, 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 back to me, and both of us got absolutely nowhere, like zero. We would just keep yelling at each other until one of us got tired, usually me. And I'd say, go back to your mother's basement, which of course is such a rude thing to say, even though it may occasionally be true. But no, I do have very strong opinions, and I'm going to express them on this channel because, hey, it's my channel. So I will express them. I will try not to be really nasty, but occasionally I'm going to express very strong opinions. And you can too. In your comments, just don't be vicious and mean to me or to each other. Now, To be honest, I did not check all the replies. I didn't look at all the replies. Some of you replied to each other on things on the comments, and I didn't look to see if everybody was, kind and civil in those replies, and it may have devolved into name calling at that point. I don't know if it did. I hope it didn't, but it may have. I hope not. So, all right, moving on. What I want to say now is I want to move on to the whole idea of messaging in entertainment, and whether it's appropriate or how much it should exist, that kind of thing. I I did agree that some of the messaging in Doctor Who can be a little heavy-handed, a little ham-fisted, not subtle enough. I know a lot of you feel it's just not subtle enough. Um, and that it needs to be more interwoven with the story and not stand out so much so that it's obvious. I don't know that it always does stand out so much as you seem to feel it does. I do feel that some people are just looking for it. They are looking eagle-eyed for anything that might be a message, and they don't want to get a message. And I think some of you are being a little oversensitive to what might be a message, and a little overreactive to that. But, I cannot police, nor should I, how things land with you. If you're watching something and it lands with you a certain way, then that's how it lands with you. It's not up to me to decide how you see it or how you receive it. It's obviously not. I'm me and you're you, and, that's how that goes. But as far as messaging, let's talk about messaging. And here's where I'm going to segue into something which seems like totally not on point, and that is Jacques Cousteau. And some of you will know who Jacques Cousteau was, and some of you will not. Jacques Cousteau was a scientist who studied the oceans and did a lot of specials. Back when I was growing up, there was a lot of Jacques Cousteau underwater specials about the ocean, and his son, I believe, took over from him for a while and continued his work. But you could see, especially if you loved underwater and if you loved the oceans, I certainly watched them. I know they were quite popular with a lot of people. We watched these underwater specials, the specials about the oceans, different parts of the oceans, different areas, etc., coral reefs, etc., and Jacques with his French accent, which is, I'm not doing a good French accent, but, he would talk about the oceans and, the beautiful coral reefs and the beautiful fishes swimming right in front of your face, and he would talk about this. And it was very involving for those of us who love the ocean. And at the very end, he would stick a message. He would usually try very hard not to hit people over the head with how important the message, the ocean was, with the message about how important the oceans. Oh boy, stuff keeps popping up and it's distracting me. How important the oceans were and are. So he would kind of save it for the end. He would put in something about, how the oceans were being adversely affected by various activities of humankind and how we needed to stop doing various things and start doing other things, and because it was killing the oceans in many ways. And we needed to be aware of that. But it was always very subtle. He didn't belabor it. It was always very subtle. And he did that for a long time. And then I noticed towards the end of his career, the specials got a little more pointed, and the message got a little more pointed and urgent because it wasn't being heeded. People were hearing from him that, but we still have time to fix, we can't fix everything. It will be bon, it will be très bien, and yeah. We just need to get on it. Well, we didn't get on it in many ways. We have to some extent here and there across the world, but for many, many years, we have not got on it in a way that we need to. And so his messages in his specials started to get more intense and more pointed, because he was kind of panicking, basically. He was saying, guys, I've been telling you, that this is bad news and we need to do something, and we need to do a lot of some things, and it doesn't seem like you all are paying attention. So his messages got much more pointed. And I think, to be honest, I think that's what's happening now. I think that's why you're seeing more pointed messages in Doctor Who. She brings it full circle. Doctor Who and a lot of other shows, because those who are writing those episodes feel that there's urgency in delivering these messages, that we don't have time to fool around, that our species is in danger in a lot of ways, that our Earth is in danger in a lot of ways, that our civilizations are in danger in a lot of ways, and we have to really make people aware. So what do you do when you're trying to make somebody aware of something? I mean, if you're on the Titanic and there's an iceberg ahead, do you play a nice little, I think I see ice on the starboard side, la, 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 la. Or do you go, maybe we should slow down and maybe veer, should we, or do you start hitting the captain going, hey, we need to do something. There's a fucking iceberg. The messages get more intense. And I think that's where we are now. So if you're starting to see that in shows or art forms, music, I think it's because people feel like that's what they have to do, that we don't have a lot of time to avoid fascism, to avoid dictators, not just dictators in this a dictator in this country, to avoid Christian nationalism, taking over of a country with the Christian nationalists who basically want this to be a white theocracy, white Christian theocracy. And I'm not kidding around here. That's what they want. Look at the Netflix special, The Family. There's a lot of things that you can look at that tell you exactly what's going on in that regard. So the message has gotten much more intense. So that is what I have to say about that for now. I am going to digress more, I think, from time to time. I'm not just going to talk about, here's the march we need to go on, and June 14th, no kings, or spiritual evolution or that kind of thing. I'm going to maybe talk about things in our society like entertainment or various other things, because the thing is, it's all interconnected. It's all interconnected. As a former Montessori teacher, that was something we taught the kids. It's all interconnected. No man is an island. You may have heard that phrase. And you're like, I've got my well and my garden and my guns and I'm good. I am an island. No, you're not. No, you're not. Even if you think you are, you're not. Because the soil that you grow your garden in is connected to other soil. The water from your well is connected to other groundwater. You are connected, even if it's only to nature, you are connected to the world. And so talking about how one thing affects another thing and how one person affects another person, that is something that I am going to talk about from time to time. And sometimes it's going to be about entertainment and sometimes it's going to be about something else. But the messaging has gotten intense and a little uncomfortable for a lot of people, because the artists who are putting it out there are feeling the pressure. They're feeling like they need to hear this and they need to hear it now. Okay. Oh, one other last note. For those of you who noticed the picture in the back, and a couple of you commented, or one of you commented on it, that's a picture of my father that I painted when I was, I think, a freshman in college as an art project. I was an art major, and it's not a good painting. I am not a good artist, but it looks like him. So I put it up there because I loved my father. He's passed on now, but I love him wherever he is. And it does actually resemble him. So even though it doesn't really show his humor and humanitarianism and all of that, it still looks like him. So I put it up there. And those things over there are from plays that a play I was in and a play I directed. I am a director and a playwright and an actor and a teacher, blah, 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 other things. So now you know, and that stuff I should take down. That stuff over there I should take down. I think that's old. Okay, everybody, I'll talk to you again in the future. If you want to come by, come by. If you don't, don't. And thank you.